Amit, thanks a lot for the kind words and for introducing Aviva India to the participants. Dear participants, on behalf of Aviva Life Insurance, I extend a very warm welcome and express our gratitude to you for taking out your precious time for this webinar. This webinar is about you and the various risks and challenges that you may face in your business. After extensive research and in discussions with several of your friends in the MSME sector, we have identified some unforeseen risks that you may be exposed to. We believe that we may have some solutions that may be of interest to you. Solutions that we term BizPro, which is a short form for business protection. As Amit said, we wanted to provide a 360-degree solution to all your business needs on the protection side. We hope you find our today's discussions insightful. In today's session, we will provide a bird's eye view of the risks and mitigants. However, we have planned a series of such webinars over the next several months. And in each of the subsequent sessions, we will pick up one topic and do a deep dive into the issues and some possible solutions around that. So stay tuned for many more such sessions. Over the course of the next 45 to 60 minutes, I intend to take you through the presentation. This will be followed by a Q&A session. However, feel free to raise your questions in between and we'll try and answer them as soon as possible. As a background to the CII Finance Facilitation Center, this was launched by Shri Kalraj Mishra, Honorable Minister, in June 2014. And this was with the intent to provide access to financial solutions to all the MSME brethren. The CIA Finance Facilitation Center services they offer, obviously they offer SME financing, which I'm sure many of you have been using in the past. CII also offers credit rating for SMEs. They offer compliance and advisory service for SMEs. And now in the latest of their suite of offerings, we have insurance services for MSMEs and SMEs as well. As Amit said, Aviva Life Insurance is very proud to be the first first and exclusive partner so far for CIA Finance Facilitation Center. In the month of November, this was actually on 22nd November, where Aviva and CIA joined hands, and you can see the imagery there. On the right is Mr. Trevor Bull, our CEO and MD, and Mr. Milan Nang is from the CII. At the back, you can see two Minister of State for MSMEs, Mr. Giriraj Singh and Mr. Haribhai Chaudhary. In the august presence of such people, we exchanged the MOU, and the MOU essentially we came in together to provide business protection solutions for SMEs. As you know, Aviva is a British company and has been in existence for over 3 years. Is the world's oldest running insurance company for continuous existence. We are present in 16 odd countries and in India since 2002. In India, we are in partnership with Dabur, who owns 51% of our equity. And Dabur is a well-known brand that all of you would be aware of. At Aviva, our purpose is to spread financial literacy, and these webinars and the series of such webinars is a small step towards making our friends in the MSME sector more aware and well prepared to overcome risk in their businesses. The agenda for today, as we see, first and foremost, we will try and articulate to you why SME is a focus area for us. We will try and cover something about what we understand is the life of an MSME, of a typical MSME, and how do we go about providing the uncertainties and challenges around in various life stages. We would then move on quickly to the business protection solutions that we have on offer. And then finally something about Aviva at the very end again. So Aviva is, when we started doing our strategic journey in the year 2015, and we were working on a 3 to 5 year strategic roadmap, we first went and looked at our customers, our focus customer segments that we wanted. And one of the choices, because the way the country is changing and the country is evolving, we realized that the government of India has put in several initiatives around Make in India and about Skill India, and the Mudra schemes came in, and Digital India wave was just being launched. All of that made us believe that the future for India tomorrow is the MSME sector. The MSMEs, either because of the digital aspirations that India has, and there will be a huge marketplace which will be readily available, and therefore we see a lot of growth because of that. The various other initiatives of the Government of India, whether it's Skill India or Make in India, again we felt this will give a huge impetus to the MSME sector, and therefore from our point of view, from Aviva Insurance, life insurance point of view, we said MSME would be a strategic focus area for us. Obviously, we have two other focus areas which have been there for some time with us. So the Aviva has been in the child space as a leader of the child insurance solution provider for long. We believe in that education is insurance. At least at some point of time, that was a tagline that we used to use, that education is insurance. So if you educate your children, you're ensuring their future would be bright. One of the other key segments that we picked up when we looked at our customer segments was that because of the lifestyle habits that urban India now today has, we are more and more getting exposed to health issues, and at the same time there are awareness amongst the population that health is very important for us. Medical costs have been going up, and again from a MSME point of view, when we spoke to over 1,000 of such people, our various Dabur stockists who are SMEs, when we spoke to them, it came out very clearly that health was a concern for them as well, as it is the life of a MSME is very stressful, and because of that often the health is neglected. Therefore, a large section of your brethren also said that health should be a focus area. So because of these reasons and verbatim from other customers, Aviva has also decided to focus on health as one of our focus areas. So child health and SMEs are our three focus areas in the next 3 to 5 years, and we will discuss about these subsequently in our subsequent webinars. So now coming back to the MSMEs, and let's dig slightly deeper into the life of an MSME. As I said, the various Government of India initiatives and the way the digital journey is mapping out, the MSME sector is growing very fast and is likely to contribute much more going forward. So almost 33% of the manufacturing output comes from the MSME sector. They make up for 45% of the exports. Almost 110 million people are already employed, and therefore there's a huge there's a huge impetus that the entire environment is providing to us. So MSMEs, we believe, are the growth engine of Indian economy with a lot of potential in the future, and therefore as we keep evolving and as we keep expanding. The other thought is that the expansion is happening, but we may not be completely prepared or completely advised today to take care of all the unforeseen circumstances that the MSME might get exposed to, and therefore our endeavor today is to kind of throw some light onto that as well. If you look at the next slide, which I've just clicked, there are typically 7 stages of the business life cycle of any SME. And you probably would be at one of these levels. Obviously, I do not know each one of you, and therefore I cannot comment on which stage each one of you individually would be. But our sense is that when you look at these 7 stages, you would be certainly in the first 6 somewhere, maybe not the 7th one, which is the exit stage, but in the first 6 stages, so which is either the seed state, where you just started thinking of a concept and you're trying to arrange for the capital, or at the startup stage or growth stage and so on. So if you're at, for example, at the growth stage, our belief is that you will be a key driver of the business, and you may have some partners as well. And having partners, while it's good, while things go well, there are some challenges because of a partnership approach as well, which could kind of expose you to some risk later on, and we have some solutions that we would want to propose for that. Similarly, if you're in the established mode and you have reached the established stage, perhaps you have a large team of people with you, and therefore employees would be your big concern. Attracting talent is obviously not so easy in today's world. So therefore, do you have solutions which help you attract the right talent and kind of motivate and retain them as well? And another stage could be, well, you have grown larger and you have a team of 20 plus more people. Then there are certain statutory laws, labor laws, which have to be adhered to, and therefore those statutes may have kicked in. Are you prepared for example, the Gratuity Act, and have you taken care of the EDLI provisions, and so on and so forth? So these are the various are some of the challenges that we think you will be exposed to, and therefore our webinar today is kind of would try and answer these questions and these challenges. We also realize that there's a multi-you. So when I say a multi-you, each one of us wears different hats at different points of time. So clearly you could be a business owner, and therefore there are challenges stemming out of that. But as I just mentioned in the previous slide, you could also be an employer with a large group of people, and then therefore there are challenges and solutions that you could that we could jointly develop for you. But at the same time, you're also head of a family, and while you're working day in, day out from morning 8 to evening 10 o'clock, working for your business, it would be coming at a cost to your family and to your personal self as well. And therefore, there are solutions where either for you personally or for your family, especially your wife and your children, there are solutions that we would want to propose, solutions in line with what is called the Married Women Property Act. And typically, I know most of you would have taken uncollateral loans from friends and family, etc. And in case of any mishap happening, and in case your loans have not been fulfilled, there could be creditors asking for those monies. The Married Women Property Act would help you very nicely in kind of securing your wife and your children. So come what happens, a certain portion of the money would be earmarked for them and would protect them from any creditors. So such solutions are what we would try and answer subsequently. So let's let's do a deep dive into your role as a business owner. So if you are a business owner, obviously you have challenges and uncertainties in the form of capital flow, and you would be struggling at times. You may struggle with the capital flow. You may also want to kind of save enough and kind of gain access to more capital, which will help you upgrade and improve the quality of your business. Savings for your business and preparing for that rainy day could also be on your mind, and you would want to be prepared for that. So for all such unforeseen happenings, including, for example, death of a partner or a key employee, we could try and find some solutions for you. We have some solutions, and I think they could be very meaningful to you. It could also help you do a succession planning if you're already into established mode and you would want to move into a succession planning stage, and there are solutions around that as well. As your second hat, if you're an employer and an employer of a large organization, yes, employee loyalty would be a key challenge to you. You would want to, as I said earlier, attract and motivate and retain the best employees. You would want them to be highly help them improve their productivity, and therefore have you taken care of all your employees in the sense that they give in the best for you, and have you taken care of all the statutory requirements as well, so that you're not kind of on the wrong side of the law. So we have solutions around that, and we will try and cover some of those subsequently. And finally, as I said, as a role as a head of a family, and this could be a large joint family as well, or it could be a nuclear family, but your roles and responsibilities towards your family, your children, your wife, and your personal self, these are what we would want to highlight to you, that these needs are there, and therefore we have solutions which can help you overcome many of these challenges and provide you peace and prosperity of mind. Ultimately, end of the day, if you're working so hard for the business, it's all for your family. And therefore, if your family is protected, if your children's education is taken care of, if your personal health is taken care of, and if something happens to you, God forbid, then in that case, at least your family should be well taken care of. That's our thought and that's our belief, and therefore our financial solutions are dovetailed towards creating that peace and prosperity in your mind. So moving on to the business protection solutions, the BizPro solution that we spoke of. Yes, so there is a business protection angle, but there's also an employer protection angle, and finally there's the family protection angle that we spoke of. So our BizPro solutions are across these three segments. In terms of business protection, the four key elements or the four key challenges that we can foresee for you. Typically, some of you might have a partnership equation with other partners. In case of a partnership firm, what if something happens to the other partner, and there might be a fallout, or there might be a death, or there might be other reasons where you would need a large capital to buy out the other partner. We have solutions around that. You might also have one or two very key people in your team upon whom you depend a lot, and if those people were to leave you, or if something was to happen to such key people, again your business would suffer a big blow. Are you prepared to handle such blows? I know emotionally you can't, but at least financially you should be in a position to overcome such blows. So we have solutions for those. Debt protection, obviously any business largely runs on debt, and you would be taking huge amounts of debts to kind of grow and expand your business. Have you adequately covered yourself and your organization for debt protection? We have some debt protection solutions as well. And finally, you would need capital, as we said initially, for growing your business. And therefore, have you accumulated enough wealth so that you can kind of keep growing your business day in, day out? There are some solutions around that we will discuss. Moving on to the employer pro solutions of the business protection that we spoke of. The employer pro, again, have you taken care of the employer-employee cover that is mandatory, that is desirable to keep your employees motivated? If not, we have solutions around that. And gratuity is a statutory requirement, so I'll be taking care of that. And similarly, EDLI, the solutions that we have around that. And on the family side, as I said, Married Women Property Act is a wonderful tool in operation for almost 125, 140, 50 odd years now, which essentially talks about that any insurance policy written underneath a Married Women Property Act trust ensures that no creditor can attach the proceeds of that policy. So that the money, the proceeds that you get under that insurance policy remains exclusively for your wife and for your children. And that's a huge benefit, a huge plus, especially in the kind of the kind of unforeseen risk that you have in your business. We have, and there's a hierarchy of needs as your life cycle changes, as you grow in your life. Those needs typically start from protecting yourself and your family first, and then moving on to some health protection, and moving on from there to income protection, and then finally into savings and retirement. And we have solutions across each stages which we can provide, which we can offer to you. So now to move on to these sections one by one. On the business protection side, let's discuss briefly on what key person insurance is. So key person, as the nomenclature is, a key person is a man who is one of the most important people in your organization on whom you depend quite a lot. If that key person for some reason decides to move on to competition or decides to leave you for whatever reasons, that would be very challenging to find a replacement for him, because he has all the information with him. He has all the knowledge. He has built in the processes, and he has built in all the connections with your customers. So if such a person decides to move on, or if such a person, if something happens to that person and he dies, more importantly, then your business will suffer a huge jolt. And then therefore, can you prepare yourself in that exigency, because you would need a lot of financial support at that point of time to recreate your business, to kind of help you in the interim with finances. We would have some solutions that we can offer to you. So yes, on the key person, as I was trying to mention, that if something happens to that person, are you equipped to kind of take care of the challenges that your business might face? You will have to find another person who will have to be first recruited and then trained, and then he'll have to build his connects with the markets, and all of that is going to take time. So therefore, in that interim period, your business will suffer, and you will need a lot of capital to overcome these challenges. The key person or the key man insurance is one such solution that we offer. What it does is, so typically if you have a key man, you can take out a life insurance policy on him for, let's say, 1 crore or 5 crores or 10 crores, depending on the kind of work that you think is or the kind of monies that you think would be required to compensate for his loss. Obviously, his family can benefit from that, but at the same time, your business will also benefit. So once you take that insurance out, and in the unfortunate case of his demise, the company can get a huge lump sum money, which the company can use to kind of recruit some new people and train them, and at the same time overcome the hardships that the company might face in the initial short period. All of these premiums would also be would also have tax benefits as per law, so you can claim those tax benefits as well. So this is on key man, and I'm not elaborating further on this, but the point is, each of these solutions we will kind of spend a full 1 hour webinar subsequently to kind of detail into. However, if you have any further questions on these and the subsequent slides, feel free to ask, and what we will do is we will try and give you more insights today itself, but at the same time we can reach out to you through your email and send you more information on each of these topics. And if required, then subsequently our sales advisors can get in touch with you and kind of help you do a proper financial planning around these. So with that caveat, so I'll move on. So we have touched on the key man insurance. The next is the partnership protection, and as I kind of mentioned at some other point of time, there might be some of you who have partners in your business, and so let me give you an example. So if you have an organization where 2 partners have come together and each one of you have contributed 5 crores for the business, and you have grown the business to whatever, to let's say double the value today, so your net worth could be 20 crores. If that is the case, and tomorrow if something happens, if unfortunately your partner passes away, obviously his family, the partner's family, would own half the business, and they would want half the business to be carved out, but they wouldn't have the expertise to run the business. In that case, would you want to buy out the partner and pay them that 10 crore money and kind of own the entire business for yourself? If you want to do something like that, obviously you will be hard pressed for capital. So in that case, if you have taken out an insurance for each of the partners for the requisite amount, that amount will be paid to you, will be paid to the surviving member, and then using that money, you can kind of buy out the share of the other partner, keeping his family happy, and at the same time you then gain complete control over the business, and then you can kind of take your business forward to greater heights. So that's on partnership protection again. The insurance policy that you take and the premiums that you pay for that, there will be tax benefits to that as well. Um, so again, as I said, more details to follow. If you have more questions, more than happy to answer. But I didn't. But for the moment, I'll leave it at that. The third aspect is debt protection. So again, let me try and elaborate on the situation again. The two of you and your partner and other people might have taken the debt from the market, and the business loan would be a joint responsibility of you and your partner. And now if something happens to your partner, the business loan is still to be paid by you. And therefore, if you take a credit policy from us, a credit protection policy from us, we will help you overcome those business loan issues as well. And therefore, an insurance policy can work very well for that. Finally, on to wealth protection. So we know that you want your business to grow, and we know that you would want to raise more capital. Going out to the market to raise capital is one solution. The other could be also that you start preparing and you kind of save for yourself, so that there's a parallel wealth stream that you have created. And to be able to do that, we have adequate wealth plans, which are either market linked or guaranteed wealth protection plans as well. Some of our guaranteed wealth protection plans have kind of the highest yields in the market, and because it is guaranteed, it offers you a huge comfort in your mind, because as it is, you're taking enough risk in your business side. So maybe some guaranteed solutions from our side would be wonderful for you to create wealth, which can come in very handy either for your personal need or for your business needs as well. Again, the standard point that all of these insurance policies have tax benefits attached to them, and therefore you could benefit from taxation as well. So this was all about your business protection solution that we offered under the 4 heads. And just to repeat the four. So we offered as a partnership solution, we offer a key man solution, we offer debt protection, and then we also offer a wealth solution. Moving on now, you wearing the hat of employer, you are already the owner or Malik of a large organization which has employed several people. So therefore, if you are an employer, there are certain things which are required to be done as per statute, as per law, which is the gratuity and ADLI. But then, as we have been discussing so far, getting the right people, getting the right talent in today's environment is not so easy. But to kind of attract and retain and motivate the right talent, you have to offer some employee benefits to such people. An employer-employee cover from a life insurance company like us would be very, very beneficial for the benefit of the families of these people. If something were to happen to them, their families are taken care of. And again, these premiums that you pay for employer-employee would have adequate tax benefits. So let's discuss these one by one. So in terms of the employer-employee plans that we spoke of, these group insurance plans that we offer, they come in at a very low cost. So the price is, because it's on a group platform, pricing should be very competitive, and the premiums would be very low. Second thing is the process would be very user friendly, so minimal documentation, and the process would be almost seamless. We could kind of link it to the payroll of such people, and therefore for almost minimal time and minimal effort, one should be able to get a life cover, which otherwise if you go out in the market it would be more expensive and more time consuming. And if you have such a policy for your employees, not only would they feel cared for, but they can also come into work and be completely assured that their families would be taken care if some mishap was to happen to them, and that's a wonderful feeling to motivate them, and therefore they can put in the best for you and your organization. Again, the standard point that these premiums would be eligible for tax benefits as per laws, and therefore you have a double advantage there. The next slide talks about gratuity, and gratuity again is a statutory provision, and as per the Gratuity Act 1972. So anyone who has been into continuous service for at least 5 years, a certain gratuity amount as per a formula has to be paid to them as and when either they leave the job or upon death. And this is incumbent on you as the employer to provide for. Government of India makes it mandatory for you to do that. If you're not prepared for this, and if you want solutions around this, me and my team here and the team of sales advisors that Aviva India has, we will be more than happy to come and discuss these solutions with you, and we would be able to help you and guide you at each and every step, so that the mandatory requirements are taken care of, and at the same time the insurance premium that you pay would again gain from the tax benefits. So that's again a double benefit to you. The third element of the employer solution is the group term life insurance in lieu of EDLI. Again, EDLI is a Government of India regulation, which is statutory benefit to be given to all members of the family of the family. The coverage is to be extended to the employees covered under the EPF, and therefore I think anyone with more than 10 or 20 employees should be able to, would be required to be providing these benefits. What we offer is that in lieu of an EDLI, a group term life plan can be bought for better benefits at a lower rate and at a lower expense to you, and with much better benefits. So it serves two purposes. One, you are on the right side of the regulations and of the law. Number two, it also helps you secure the prosperity and peace of your employees and their family members. And finally, you also gain from tax benefits because of this as well. So we have solutions around this, which we will discuss later. Finally, moving on to the third role. So just for a brief recap, we first discussed your role as a partnership person, as a business owner, and then we discussed your role as an employer. Now finally coming on to you, because you are equally important, because the entire business hinges on your existence and on your leadership, and therefore you have to take care of yourself and your family as well, because the family comes first. So finally, on to your role as a family owner or as a head of a family. We discussed MWPA, and we will kind of go slightly deeper into that now. And then I spoke of the needs hierarchy that we have. We will try and dwell some more on that. And in terms of the needs hierarchy, and in terms of the life stages, there are solutions around child and child education and child insurance plans, as well as around health and medical benefits. We will cover each of these one by one. So just to reiterate on the Married Women Property Act, as I said, this act has been there since 1874, so almost 142 years back this act was initiated. Let's first read this, and then I'll try and explain what it means. So an estate can be created for the exclusive benefit of the wife and children of a married, widower or a divorced person by buying a life cover for himself. Just to explain this again, let's say I buy a life insurance policy of 1 crore on my life. and I write this under the Married Women Property Act Trust. I make my wife as the nominee or as the beneficiary, and I also have a choice of making my children also as a beneficiary under the two different acts of MWPA. If I have made my wife and my children as beneficiary, and if something happens to me, the proceeds of this insurance policy will go to the trust, and therefore then the trustee has to use the money received only for the benefit of my wife and the children. Now, no court can attach this money for any other purposes. No creditor can stake a claim on these monies. That is the power of a Married Women Property Act. To my mind, across the world, this is a wonderful tool which husbands use for the benefit of their wives and their wife and their children. The Indian Act also provides for that. In India, while the MWPA Act is known and many insurance companies have dabbled into this, but I think it's too powerful a tool not to be used. So my sincerest advice and my recommendation is for most people to use the Married Women Property Act to protect their spouse and their children. And it's a very simple way of executing this. So there's a one single page trust form. You need not really get worried about the trust form. My advisors from Aviva Life Insurance are well equipped to handle these trust forms. They can come in and get it executed for you. And it's a simple half an hour, 1 hour job, and it should be able to be done. So any insurance policy written under the MWPA Act can work towards that. I hope you understand by now that this is a very, very powerful tool which you can use in an insurance policy which is either a term policy or a pure protection term policy or a savings policy or a regular income plan policy, whichever way you look at. If it is written under the Married Women Property Act, it could provide complete peace of mind to you that if anything happens to you, your family would have that money come what happens. And especially this is very useful for the MSME sector. When we did our research with many of the SMEs prior to coming to you people, including some of our Dabur folks, this was one tool which most of them were very, very enthused about, and they felt a real good relevance of this tool for themselves. At the same time, many of them said that they were not aware of this, and therefore I'm spending a lot of time on this so that I can at least share this information and share the knowledge with you that there's something called the Married Women Property Act which is very beneficial, which you should certainly consider. And if you have any challenges, if you have any struggle in executing this and you're not sure on what to do, Aviva's advisors are more than happy to come and help you with that. Moving on now, as I said earlier, there are various life stages that everyone has, and therefore basis a typical life stage cycle, there's a hierarchy of various needs that one has. And typically the philosophy here is that when you're young and when you have limited paying capacity, but at the same time you have a long life to look forward to, at that point of time it is best to take a pure protection, a term policy, which is essentially a life cover for you, so that if something happens to you, your near and dear ones are taken care of. If written under MWPA, that's fantastic. So that's the term plans. It comes at a very, very small cost. To my mind, something like it costs 15 rupees a day for someone aged 30 or so. For a sum of 15 rupees a day, you can get a cover of about 1 crore or so. So that's the cost benefit of this, and a very small price to be paid, but it gives you a huge peace and prosperity of mind. It ensures that your dreams and your family's dreams are taken care of even if something were to happen to you. Uh, so in terms of financial planning and advisory, the best approach would be for someone of a young age, 28, 30, 35, just married kind of, buy a term policy which will ensure that your dreams, your future dreams are taken care of whether you're there or not. Insurance is essentially to provide a plan B, and this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to provide a plan B. If you're around, obviously all your goals and your dreams would be met. But if you're not around, your family or your spouse would still want those dreams, or at least some of those dreams to be there, and therefore the insurance policy takes care of that. So that's what a term plan is. For something as low as 10-15 rupees a day,
Yes.
You get a cover of as high as about a crore or so. Again, to say why this is a retail policy, but on a retail policy also, your tax benefits do apply. So ATC benefits, ATCCC benefits do apply here. If you have moved on from that life stage, and if you have children as well, and if you have young children, they're the most precious things in our life. And for our children, obviously, all parents would want the best thing to happen to them, starting from education. So we had done some surveys. As I said, Aviva India has been very focused on the child space for last many years, last 6, 7, 8 years, and we are known as leaders on the child space. We had done some surveys with various parents across the country, and the key finding of that was that anyone with young children, one of the biggest worries is how to save for the education of their children, and how to ensure that the children are well educated. The dreams and aspirations of today's India has moved on from just being a 10th pass to kind of planning to go to Harvard and trying to go be a doctor and an engineer from the best institutes, trying to go to IIM Ahmedabad and so on and so forth. So if those are dreams of you and your children, you need to prepare for those well in advance. And the research that we did with various parents, they said they would want to do the sooner. However, lack of knowledge and lack of information kind of precluded them from planning for their children's future earlier. And that's where we come in again. I'm sure all of us would want to prepare in advance, but if we are not equipped, then again there are enough salespeople from Aviva and enough financial planners from Aviva who can come in and help you plan for your child's future. We have plans which ensure guaranteed plans which ensure that come what happens, if something happens to you, the premiums are not to be paid by you going forward, and still there would be payouts at various intervals which will ensure that the child's education is taken care of. So one of our plans, for example, the Aviva Young Scholar Secure, it kind of takes care of right from tuition fee from class 8 onwards. So tuition fee to be paid year on year, and then at class 12 a lump sum is paid so that the child can join a good medical engineering or a CA college kind of, and then another huge lump sum is paid after graduation, so to take care of the post-graduation needs, financial needs of the child. So these child plans are there, and we are more than happy to help you understand that further. Moving on, as I said initially, we understand that your life is very stressful as SMEs, MSMEs. You often are so engrossed with your work and with your business. You might be skipping your lunches, you might be skipping dinners. You have a very stressful life, and therefore I'm sure exercise would not be top of your mind perhaps. And this is not me saying so, this is what many of our SME friends have indicated to us. And if that be the case, then therefore your lifestyle makes your life at risk because of health reasons. And if health is a big risk for you, at the same time we understand that the cost of healthcare has gone up tremendously, and therefore it is only worthwhile and it's only advisable that we prepare for those huge expenses well in advance. Again, we were keeping that health focus in mind. We have come out with some solutions which are which are very low premium plans. For example, recently we have launched a very unique Aviva Heart Care in association with Medanta Hospital, and it's again, just to give you a very brief flavor of this product. The heart care covers 19 diseases of the heart. India is the cardiovascular capital of the world, and therefore most of us, because of our stressful lives and our eating habits and our sedentary lifestyles, we are at risk to that. And therefore, in association with Medanta, we have launched this policy, which kind of takes care of end-to-end 19 conditions of the heart. The beauty of this is the premiums are as low as rupees 3,000 for someone aged 35, 3,000 rupees a year for yourself for a cover of 10 lakhs. And this is a benefit which is in addition to the normal medical claim benefits that you take, is the critical illness policy, but for something as low as 3,000. And the other beauty of this is there are two versions of this, which is the me, which is myself, me and myself only, and a we, which is two of us, which is me and my spouse. And for something like adding only 500, 600, 700 rupees more, so 3,000 might go up to 3600, 3700 rupees. By adding only that much, you can cover your spouse as well. So any heart ailment to either you or your spouse gets covered for up to 10 lakhs for something as low as this. Again, it's a beautiful benefit that I would recommend to you people, keeping in mind that because of this kind of stress that you people would be under, a health policy would be very, very advisable and beneficial for you. So plan ahead, and my advice would be that would be wonderful. Now again, as I said, because I cannot see you people, and unfortunately I do not therefore know who each one of you are, but I'm just trying to visualize a group of people who are at different stages of their business cycles and of your life stages. So there might be some of you who would be approaching retirement as well. And if that be the case, again, you might know that because of the advances in medical in India and worldwide, our lifespans are increasing, our longevity has increased. So our life expectancy at 60 now makes us is 17 years. So most of us are likely, if you've lived till 60, you're likely to live till 77 now. With the rapid advancements in medical technology, it's only getting pushed year on year. So there's going to be a very long period of your life, your golden years, when your earning capacity might have gone down, but you still have to live, and you want to live with dignity and happily, and you would want to fend for yourself and not depend on your children. And therefore, have you planned for that future golden years? Have you planned for a life too long? That's what retirement planning is. And therefore, we have enough solutions where the concept being you save while you're earning and use the savings for your future once your earning dwindles or your earnings fall. That is all about retirement planning, and there are solutions both on the guaranteed space. So for example, one of our plans called the Family Income Builder Plan, it offers a regular stream of income. So you pay X rupees for 12 years each year, and over the next 12 years you get 2X rupees. So it's as simple as that. It's a guaranteed amount. So let's say you buy a policy of and commit to paying 1 lakh rupee a month for 12 years, and let's say you're age 50 today. If you plan and pay from age 50 to 62 1 lakh every year, from age 63 onwards you get 1.5 from age 63 to 73. So you get, sorry, age 63 to 74, you get 1.5 lakh every year, and at the age of 75, then you get the balance, which will make us 7.5 lakhs. So that's how the product is structured, but then it's a wonderful guaranteed amount. In today's world, no one offers a guarantee as high as this over this period of 24 years. The IRR of this product is as high as 5%, and this is all tax-free. So that's again a wonderful proposition to take care of your golden years. So friends, this is all that I had to cover on a brief space today. yes, there we would, as I said earlier as well, we would do a deep dive into each of these topics and subtopics in subsequent webinars planned over the next 1 year. Uh, and more than happy to answer all kinds of questions that you have. But also keep in mind that the moment if you want more details, just write to us and we will send you more information by mail, by post, etc. And then if you want more further information on that, we can connect over to our advisors as well, our financial planners, who can come and spend and give you more information on any of these solutions that you might want to look at. So just a brief on Aviva. I think we have covered earlier as well, but it's a British company in existence since 1696, world's oldest insurance company in continuous existence, presence across 16 markets with 34 million. So it's one of the largest insurance companies in the world, and in India since 2002. And as you might see there, Dabur has been our joint venture partner, and they own 51%. And Dabur brand, I'm sure all of you would be aware, it's a very strong brand, very focused in Indian Tier B and Tier C cities. So yes, we are proud to be a partners of them. In terms of our recent journey, so yes, Aviva India, we have embarked, as we said, on our new strategic journey. We have our 3 key focus areas, which is around child health and SME, that is youth. And therefore, this webinar of today and future webinars that we plan for the next year plus. So your queries you could write to this cii.ffc@cii.in. So thank you. That's all that we had to cover today. Hope you had a fruitful session today with us. So while you can ask your question, there's another thought I would want to leave with you people. We wanted to plan for our next webinar as well, while we will agree on a time and we will come back to you later. But I wanted to leave with you 3 thoughts on the next topic that we wanted to cover. And it would be very helpful if you can respond back right now saying what is of most interest to you of all that we have covered. The 3 topics I'll leave to you with this. One is, if you want, the next webinar we could be on MWPA, Married Women Property Act. If you think that is the most relevant for you, we are more than happy to cover that. The second solution or second topic that we could think of and we would recommend would be around partnership insurance. So let us know if that is of importance to you. We can cover that next. And finally, the third one we would want your views on would be the employer-employee insurance. Sorry, the keyman insurance. So if you feel that is important to you, so just write back to us now between Married Women Property Act, partnership insurance, and keyman. Whichever between these 3 you people vote now, we will be more than happy to kind of plan for that as our next session. So with that, thank you very much. Look forward to your questions, and I'll be on standby now. Thank you.
So